Hey everybody, what's up? This is Mike, and today we'll be doing a tutorial on JUnit Testing. To start off, click on File, New, Other, expand the folder Android, go straight to Android Test Project. Generally, the standard naming schema is the name of your application followed by test. Click Next. You want to link this with your contact manager in order to use some of its classes for testing. Ensure that you have the right OS. In this example, we want to test the contact class. Let's start off by right-clicking on the android.contactmanager.test under source. Go to File, JUnit Test. You want to browse for the contact. Here it has already loaded, but let's search for it and to show you what it looks like. And the naming of this class is also the standard name of the file, followed by test. You want to skip this step for now. Rather than extending test case, we want to extend the Android test case. We'll be required to import. Alright, so here's our blank test. Let's run it and see how it goes. We should pass because there is no test to run. Here we can see a passing result. Because there are no tests, then there is no failure. A test usually starts off with public void test followed by the name in a descriptive manner of what you want to test. So here we want to test our constructor. We want to make sure that when we create the contact, it is not null. Here we'll be using the assert method. There are many assert methods out there to verify a certain test, such as if two objects are equal or if a statement is true. Here we'll be using, I'll give you a small IntelliSense dropdown. And here we see assert equals, assert not same, assert null. But there's a link in the text tutorial. Be sure to look at all the assert methods that you can use. Here we'll be using assert not null. Or null not. Not null. And my touchpad just screwed me over there. Not null. And we'll be required to import the contact. Let's run this and it should be a passing test unless we can't create the object. Here we get the green light stating that it is indeed correct. Test constructor has passed. So let's assume that this is null. What will happen? This is an example of a failing test. Here we can see that the test has failed. There has been a big X to indicate which test has failed. So let's go back to the correct test and let's write a different one as another example. Again, it starts off with public void test followed by a name of what you want to test. So here we want to test a getter method, test getters. Because if we take a look, because it has a lot of getter methods, we will be only testing one, but essentially this should test many other methods. So what we want to do is we want to create a new contact and using the overloaded constructor. One's blank, the other one takes in many parameters. We want to use the latter. Here I will just copy and paste and fill in all the information. The last two takes in a bitmap object. So here we will have to create two bitmap images. Sig. And what is the other one? Pick. Because we're not testing pick or signature, then we can just assign them null. Okay, so what we expect is it will return John. And what we actually get is what we get when we invoke the getFirstName. Here we'll be using the assert equals with, I believe it takes in the first parameter of expected. What would we expected? And the second parameter of actual. It actually may be the other way around. How do you get IntelliSense for this? Nope, no IntelliSense. Let me delete this. Okay, object, Boolean. Okay, it doesn't give you, it really doesn't matter which order you place them in. So let's run them. And here we have a successful test. Suppose we actually expected to return Joe rather than John. What's going to happen? This would be an example of a failing test. Here, the test failed because John does not equal Joe. We have verified here that the getFirstName does indeed work, and we can actually run many other getter methods, but for this example, this should be sufficient. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and hopefully I'll see you guys in future tutorials.